Welcome to the Freedom in 5 Minutes podcast, the podcast where we make 5-minute decisions that can change your business, your relationships, and your life. Welcome to the Freedom in 5 Minutes podcast. My name is Dean Soto, and we are here again with another Freedom in 5 Minutes episode. Today's topic is this: data makes great decisions. That and more coming up. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. It is Dean Soto. We're here with another Freedom in 5 Minutes. Hope you're having a fantastic day so far. And man, things have been going very well over here. So I'm part of this warrior thing. Every week I have these meetups, or these kind of like, not meetups, what are they? They're kind of like, not meetups in a physical sense, but just, we meet up on Zoom. And things have been crushing. Like, it's been awesome. It's been really good. And one of the things that came up was, so we're in our meeting. I'm in there with a couple of my warrior brothers, and we're talking. And the coach lifts up his wrist, and he goes, "Yeah, this thing has been a game changer for me." And I'm like, "Whoa, what is this? Like, what is he talking about? Game changer? What the heck?" And I asked, like, "What is that thing?" And it turns out that it's a Whoop. A Whoop. WHOOP. I'm sure you know about it. I had no clue because I generally stick to myself. I don't listen to a lot of different things and watch a lot of different things. So I had no idea what a Whoop was, but apparently it's pretty popular. It's kind of like a Fitbit. And so I'm asking him, like, what's so good about it? Like, what's the big story? Like, you know, so, and he's talking about how basically it has no screen, it has nothing, and it tracks what you are. It tracks essentially what all the data about your heart rate, what you're doing, activity levels, and then it also gives you a sleep coach, how much sleep you should get to be at a certain level of performance. If you want to just get by, if you want to be at your peak potential, a whole lot of different things that you can do. Well, so I was interested. I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. But his point was that look, when you have actual data on what you're doing and how you're working out and what your heart rate level is, all those different things, it allows you to make much better decisions. It allows you to make much better decisions. Okay, and so I right away I ended up getting the Whoop. So I put it on my wrist and started collecting data, and almost immediately I noticed one thing. One thing was that a lot of the times we all know that we have to get like 7 or 8 hours of sleep, right? That's kind of common knowledge and so on. And my wife was like, "Yeah, okay, well, you need a Whoop to tell you that. That's kind of retarded." And I'm like, "Okay, well, no, a Whoop doesn't tell me that. What it does tell, one of the things it does do is it tells you, okay, you need your daily need. Your need for tonight when you go to bed is 7 hours and 30 minutes of sleep in order to be fully 100% rested." Well, the thing that most of us don't take into account is that if you actually need 7 hours and 30 minutes of actual rest, actual sleep, often you actually need to go to bed at 8:30, or maybe even, you have to be in bed for 8 hours and 30 minutes, or 9 hours, depending on how well you've been sleeping. Because if your sleep efficiency has been crap, if you haven't had good sleep efficiency at all, say you're not getting into REM sleep, you're not getting into deep sleep, things like that, then what happens is all of that sleep is not always, it's not, even if you went to bed 8 hours and you slept for 8 hours, you're not actually getting necessarily 8 hours worth of sleep if you're not going into those phases of your sleep. And so what I noticed was I was not getting as much sleep as I should. And so I started getting a little bit more sleep. I started going based off of what it said, and I've felt great. And then on top of that, what it does is it measures how much stress your body's going through, how much exercise your body's going through. I'm walking uphill right now in my land, so if I'm breathing heavy, that's why that's happening. Going through and you're starting to, when you're able to measure that, it also tells you how much stress the next day or the day of your body can handle of work. So if I'm out creating a garden enclosure, building a garden enclosure, and then the next day I'm doing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and then I'm doing garden enclosure again, and I'm not giving myself enough time to recover, that will actually affect my sleep. It affects also, good luck with this gate. It also affects how well I'm going to be able to do things the next day when it comes to physical labor, things like that, which, yes, I totally understand that you could kind of gauge on yourself, like how much rest you need and all that other stuff. But when you have the actual data, it makes it easy. So for example, today, my body is 66% recovered. And so I know that since I'm going to be doing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, I probably want to take it easy the rest of the day and do things such as just doing my business stuff on my laptop until I go to Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, because that's going to kind of work me, right? So basically with that data, I'm able to make some good decisions. And that goes all around. One of the things, as this Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu tournament comes up that I'm going to be doing, one of the things about this tournament is that I need to be under 200 pounds. Well, I ended up getting a scale a couple of weeks back, thinking that, I'm probably 205, 204, I'm good. 212. And I'm like, oh man. And so right then and there, I had data, actionable data, and I was able to go and realize, oh crap, okay, I need to get on a better diet. I need to do more exercise. I need to weigh myself every day, and so on and so forth, right? And so when you have data, the reason why this is so important, when you have data, you can make better decisions, okay? A lot of the time, we don't make decisions based off of data. And data doesn't have to necessarily be numbers. You can ask your spouse, hey, what do you think about this? How do you think about me doing this? What do you think about when I said this or whatever? They will give you data where you can make decisions rather than just assuming, rather than saying, oh, my wife or my husband doesn't want me to do this. My wife or my husband would never allow me to do that. Why not ask them and actually get data? I have someone who's really dear to me that he says that about his wife all the time. Oh, she would never let me do that. Oh, she does this and she does that. She would never. But when he actually takes the time to ask and talk to her, more often than not, it's completely opposite of what he says. Okay? And so it's important that you get as much data as possible when you're making a decision. Okay? Because that's what allows you to make, very quick 5-minute decisions, things like that. Okay? So this is something that, oh my gosh, my wife did make a huge burn pile over here. She's so good. My wife's amazing. I have a huge burn pile over there now. So I have a lot of burn piles. I need to go start burning. I need to go get my fire permit and stuff again. Anyway. Oh, wow. Anyway. Oh, sorry. I'm just admiring my wife's handiwork. So what's something right now where where you don't have the data and you're just kind of making a decision? Maybe you're trying to lose weight. Maybe you are trying to get more customers. Maybe you are trying to do a different marketing tactic. What is that one thing that if you just took the time to get a little bit of data, it would make a huge amount of difference? I want you to just consider getting more data on it and making a decision based off of data, because you're going to find that it makes things a whole lot easier. All right, so this is Dean Soto, freedomin5minutes.com. Go check out freedomin5minutes.com. Lots of things are going to be changing. Whole rebrand. Prosulum, Prosulum, is going to be freedomin5minutes.com. And you're going to see a whole different shift in how everything's going to be. I'm going to also be interviewing more people on this podcast as well. It's going to be pretty awesome. Based off of the data, I am making that decision. So to see you guys in the next Freedom in 5 Minutes episode. Excited to be with you next time.